Can you definitively say you will support the Republican nominee even if that nominee is Donald J. Trump? Senator Rubio, yes or no?
I'll support the Republican nominee.
Mr. Trump, yes or no?
I'll support Donald if he's the Republican nominee.
Senator Cruz, yes or no? You will support Donald Trump if he's the nominee?
Yes, because I gave my word that I would.
I will support whoever is the Republican nominee for president.
Even if it's not me?
Even though they don't deserve it. But the answer is yes, I will.
Well, you heard it here, folks. 7 months after we first put that question to the GOP candidates, each man on the stage tonight saying they will support the eventual GOP nominee, whoever that may be, with Mr. Trump adding his usual flair to the answer. So will this quiet the worries about a contested convention in Cleveland come July? Guy Benson is a Fox News contributor. Dana Lash is the host of Dana on the Blaze TV. Charles Hurt is the political columnist for the Washington Times. Great to see you all. Dana, let me start with you as a Cruz supporter, whether you think that's that. I mean, even Ted Cruz saying if it's Trump, I will support Trump.
I think it does go a long way, maybe in at least getting to the point where we're soothing some of the cracks in the right. I hope that Trump sticks to this, to the pledge that he made, because he kept kind of going back and forth. Yes, I'm going to support it. Well, they're not keeping their promise to me, so I don't know if I'm going to keep my promise to them. But I'm glad to see that they all answered yes. You have to be able to support the nominee. We have a two-party system right now. This is the only strategy going forward that's going to beat Hillary Clinton.
And yet, Guy, what we're hearing from some Republicans is never Trump. You know, Ben Sass, senator from Nebraska, saying, I won't support him. They're talking about the next 2 weeks could break the GOP forever. So what do you make of it, Guy? I mean, do you believe that the Republican Party will get behind Donald Trump if he's the nominee?
Well, I mean, some of them obviously will, and these guys all raised their hand at that very first debate. You guys posed the question to them, and they said, yes, we'll all support the nominee eventually, and they're keeping their word. What I thought was interesting about their answers there, each of them tried to really reprise major themes of their campaigns in that answer. Rubio attacking Hillary, and Bernie Sanders making the point that he runs strongest against them in the polls. Ted Cruz saying, I gave my word. One of his slogans is trust Ted. So, and then Donald Trump, I thought a very shrewd final answer for him, sort of laughing off this idea that it would be anyone but him, which was asserting that he is absolutely the front runner, which is unquestionable.
Charlie, what did you think of tonight's debate?
Oh, I thought it was marvelous. It was every debate that comes along, you think to yourself afterwards, it can't get better than this, and then of course it always does. And tonight was certainly no exception. And I thought that was a very shrewd question, because of course at the first debate, that question was very much directed at Donald Trump and whether he would stick with the Republican nominee, eventual nominee, whoever it was. Tonight, it was not directed at him. It was directed more at the others because of all of the dissension we've been hearing from these elected officials, these Republican officials who are talking crazy talk that they're going to give the election to Hillary Clinton by not supporting the Republican nominee. And I thought that was the big news out of the debate, was that they all said they will support Trump.
How did you think Trump did tonight?
I don't think it was his best performance. I think that but that said, he was taking it from all sides. He had everybody up there was gunning for him, and and then the whole thing, the reference to his anatomy, was sort of one of those moments where everybody in the audience was kind of shocked. But I mean, this is the way people talk in America today, and it's almost kind of Shakespearean in the way that he makes these these puns. And I think, quite frankly, what he was trying to do when he did that, he wanted to close the circle so that everyone was clear exactly what Marco Rubio is talking about every time he talks about his hands, and maybe that will shame Marco Rubio into sort of pulling back on it, and if not that, embrace it.
There were some people who were very offended by that and thought it was inappropriate for the presidential debate. On the other hand, it's nice to laugh at these things and to break the tension a little bit, Guy.
Yeah, I mean, what I got a kick out of was Trump saying, I've never heard this thing about my hands ever before. Of course he has. That's the whole reason Rubio's been baiting him. He's been apparently and reportedly very sensitive about his small hands for years. And so it was clear that
Carter, who runs Vanity Fair magazine, that's his magazine, has been sort of needling him on this for years, and Trump does not like it.
Yeah, and he brought it up totally unsolicited at the debate, bringing up his hands and then mentioning how it compared to other parts of his anatomy. Clearly an attack that's under his skin, but
Surreal moment.
A weird
Surreal
moment. Yes, on a presidential debate stage that happened.
I know. It was a way to kick it off. But the other, there was more levity, Dana. It wasn't all sort of mean and fighting. It started mean and fighting, and then it wound up being kind of funny. Here's the moment about yoga. Watch.
Let me point out,
Not
if
what you
Donald
say in the
actually
op-ed.
cared
That is
about-
not what you said in the op-ed.
Donald, please, I know it's hard
Yeah,
not
I
to
know it is,
interrupt,
but it's not what you
try.
said in the op-ed.
Breathe.
Lion
breathe,
Ted.
Breathe. You can do it. You can breathe. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but just...
When they're done with the yoga, can I answer a question?
You
here?
cannot. I really hope that we don't see yoga on this stage.
Well, he's very flexible, so you never know.
Brett,
Pretty good. Even Ted Cruz seemed to like that one, Dana.
I loved to see the relationship there budding between Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz on the stage. I think that they tag teamed Donald Trump, not just in this debate, Megan, but in the previous debate beautifully. Whoever's advising them on that, that's what they needed to do. They kept the heat off of each other and they focused it on Trump. And it's amazing to me, we were bringing up what was getting under Trump's skin the most. He's more offended by it being said that he has tiny hands than the questions, Megan, you were asking him, which I thought were very apropos about Trump University. Here he could be having to leave the campaign to go to court for this fraud investigation into Trump University. That didn't seem to bother him so much as another man on stage, Cruz or Rubio, thinking that he was in some way physically insignificant compared to the other ones. I found that entertaining.
I do want to tell the viewers I have some news for you on the Trump University exchange. Trump came over to us after that break and brought out a Better Business Bureau accreditation notice for the Trump Entrepreneur Initiative, which is the Trump University was changed to Trump Entrepreneur Initiative because they got in trouble with the state of New York. So a new business was formed, but it was kind of a continuation of the old business. And this says that Trump Entrepreneur Initiative, on a scale of A to F, has an A rating. And he wanted me to show that, and he's right. That is sometime after 2011, and the business closed in 2011. But the point I was trying to make was, when Trump University was operating and got into trouble, it was given a D- rating. That was the last public rating we had. And then once he began it under a new name, it had this A rating. And so the viewers can make up their own minds about whether any of that matters. But obviously, that became an issue tonight because his competitors are hitting it, and it's going to come up again. Go ahead. I'll give you the quick final word. Dana could take it.
Trump University, Trump vodka, Trump steaks. I mean, he's had like perhaps one success with his properties, but I look at the string of failures. Like, I want to see a little bit more from this candidate. And he throws out the phallus joke as a deflection because he was having his backside handed to him during this debate. He did not win it. Oh.
I want a steak and some vodka. Is it just me? Is anyone else having that feeling?
I'm right there with you,
If you can't sell steak and vodka, Megan, if you can't sell steak and vodka, then you can't sell anything. Who goes wrong with steak and vodka?
It's great. It's great to see you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.